Good morning, retail traders. This is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy where we talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And as I speak, being in the now is the main indicator. And right now, the cannabis stocks have been in a good run. And soon we're going to be finding some resistance to break, and I'm going to point them out. Also, I'll point out a few support levels. So this is my third attempt to get this video out this morning, so I'm going to make it short and sweet. And pull up the chart. TLRY, it's the first one we're going to talk about. Now like I said, we've called this out, and now we're getting up here to resistance levels. And if we can break these two resistance levels, I think we can definitely start to move this thing up higher. And I'm only going to put a few trend lines on here right now. The major one that we got to break is this right here, the body of that candle right there, and that's right around 345. Now the support level is going to be the body of these two candles right here, and we're going to put that in right there for a support level to hold. It can fall back easily and hit that 200 and run back up. So I'm going to raise this alert above that 200. I think that's the daily. Let me see if I got this right here. Yeah. So that's that. First support is going to be the 21. I'm going to use the moving averages, and that'll be the top of this candle right here. That's going to be your first support right at 302. If we break resistance, it's going to be 345. And if we can't hold that first support, I think she can easily drop back down here and bounce off either this 200 EMA or the 200 SMA. So I'm going to put an alert right above that 200. Like I said, I trade with moving averages as support and resistance levels. And then I go for confirmations of trend lines and tweezer tops and chart patterns to align that with a moving average. It's like a double confirmation. So resistance to break on Hillary is 345. Support to hold today is 302. If that doesn't hold, I got three other supports down here to take. 279, 260, and then at 253 for a solid. And I mean, if it gets real nasty, we've got definitely a good buy right here at the tweezer bottom at 225. Resistance to break is what we need to see is 345. The next one is CRON. CRON's already hit the moving average right here. I called this out a while back. This is the 300 SMA. It's the 300 SMA. So this thing can easily pull back and bounce off the 200 EMA, which is right at 217. Solid support at 207. If that holds today, then I think we can run it back up and run back into that double top and break that moving average of the 300 EMA or SMA. What was that again? Simple moving average. I really like CRON. I've made good money on CRON. Don't take me wrong on that, baby. The next one we're going to look at is, I got all kinds of choices in here. We're going to look at MSOS. This is one of my favorites, ETFs. We're definitely at a resistance also on this. So anytime I come up to a resistance level, like a moving average right here, I got to think twice before I get into the trade, because I don't know if it breaks it, then I'm going to go ahead and run it up to the highest level that I can take it to, which would be the next resistance right here on the body of that candle, right at 1371. Also, you know, we got to break this 65 EMA. If we can break that 65 EMA, then I'm sure we're going to hit these next two levels. If not, we're going to pull back. Now, this is one that people are watching. People are, because it's an ETF, right? It's simple. I mean, everybody looks at an ETF when it comes to sector trading. So that's just one to think about. We got to break that 65. If not, she can pull back, find support right around the 666 area or 534. But right now might even take that back. Let's go to a different time frame here. But that's definitely got a break. So let's put that trend line on there. That's a hard resistance, 945. We break the 945, we'll move up higher. Definitely move up higher. If not, we'll pull back to each one of these moving averages. This is the 51 EMA, and this is the 50 SMA. This is the 9, and that's where I'd like to snuggle up against on the weekly. Now let's go to the daily. We got the resistance we need to break, 945. Now I go to the daily, and that's really there's a confirmation right there of a pullback, which would qualify what was support now becomes resistance. So that's another reason why we got to kind of be cool about this. Now let's look at the 200 right here. I think that's the 300 simple moving. What? Yeah, 300 simple moving average. And I want to line that up with something over here that I think, and that's going to be right in there at the bottom of this candle right here. So 815, and then those are the three numbers we need to hold today. Hold that moving average, unless if not, it's going to come down and hit this other one or land on the 9 on the daily. That's 815, 877, and 945. 945 is resistance to break, and 877 and 815 for your lowest support to hold. If not, it's going to run right down here and be a very strong buy at 727. That's MSOS. I mean, that's a couple dollar drop, but I'm telling you, these things are very bullish right now, and we do, who knows? I mean, people, this sector hasn't run in a long time, and we definitely hit the bottoms down here, and he's been calling this out for a week, 2 weeks now, ever since that news came out. Now this is the video I did before. I'm going to put this in the bottom of the content. And this is a great video to watch if you want to try to catch bottoms right when you've had the first breakout. So I'd go back and watch this one if you want to learn. If you want to learn, I'd go back and watch this one. Because when you identify a breakout, you want to get right into it and look at it and study it. And every one of these stocks had real good runs. Every one of them. And I'll put this link in the bottom there. So the next one we're going to look at is GRWG. This is one of my favorite stocks when it comes to the cannabis sector. This one's got to break this 398. As I went right to it. It didn't take me a second to figure out where resistance was on this. Why? Because we got a touch here, we got almost a touch here, and we're going to almost have a touch here. So when I say almost, either you run it up and you get out of that almost before you hit it, because it's telling you right here, don't try to take it to the limit. And we've already had a real nice, huge breakout on these things. I mean, we called this out down here. If you go back and watch that video, out of that first initial breakout, and we went from $3 in a week to 380, 378. Support level is going to be the 65 EMA and the 51. Now, the 51 is one of my favorites when it comes to taking scalps and swing trades. And we're on the daily here, and we got the 9 crossing over the 21, which is bullish. I use the 9 EMA and try to cross the 21 SMA, and when that happens, I'm pretty well hooked on the trade. So I talked about that during this here run. I said, this thing's coming up, it's going to cross the 21, and I bet you we break out, run up to this 200. So that's going to be our hard resistance. And it does kind of match up with this here double top here. triple top, right at 405. So that's what we got to break, 405. We're going to have some resistance up in here. We've got the 200, we've got the SMA, 200 EMA, and then the 300 SMA, or EMA. Okay, let me get this right. I got the 200 EMA on here. I got the 300 SMA on here. And I got the 200 SMA on here. So that's a real hard resistance to break. So I'd expect it to kind of pull back a little bit, maybe find support at 345 or off the 9 on the daily time frame. And if that fails, load the boat off the 21. This trading strategy is pretty spot on if you get the moving averages and just learn how to trade them. Now, you could trade any moving average. It's up to you what's so cool about the market is you can tweak it to how it fits your desire. I mean, you could trade a different moving average and still take a play off of it, but it might not be the same play I take, or a pattern, but you got to be in the now. It gives the stock a little bit of momentum. So this is another good one that I called out. Planet 13 Holdings last week, and we had a run from 50 cents all the way to 120. Now we've came back and consolidated off the 9, so this is what I'm talking about. You got a hammer and you got a long leg doji, which means, and we settled right in the middle and we bounced off the 9. So I'm definitely going to be watching this one today. Now the volume has picked up some, but we could be kind of consolidating, and if it bounces back to the 200 on the daily time frame, I'd probably take this trade, or at least at the bottom of this candle right here, at 80 cents. So I'd set an alert right there, see if it holds. If not, maybe take it down here off the 21 at 68. You notice every trade here I've called out a resistance level, and I've called out a support level. I don't ever hardly chase. I'll come in here and wait for the pullback and catch it. Pull up the 20-day 1 hour and you can get a different look on them too. See, this is definitely first support today. If that holds, then we're moving up. If not, we're going to drop down to these other two figures here. These other three. 80 cents, 67.93, and 60. And that's it for the cannabis sector. I got more I could talk about, but I need to get back to work here. This is Sneaky Snake trading strategy, where we talk about chart patterns and moving averages and being in the now. I wish everybody a great trading day.